Former world champion Carl Froch is talking again. Sometimes when Froch speaks, he makes people angry. Other times when he speaks, he gives them something entertaining and something to ponder. But this time, when he made his statements, he was making them about Andre Ward. And when it was proposed that Ward was interested at one point of moving up to heavyweight to take on then unified champion Anthony Joshua, Froch had something to say about it, and it wasn't pleasant, and it wasn't the type of complimentary remarks. Let's talk about what he had to say and what may still be on the table as far as his thoughts. Carl Froch, a former nemesis of Andre Ward. Yeah, back in the headlines again after saying Ward's name. The two faced each other back in December of 2011. At that time, Andre Ward won a unanimous decision for the WBA and WBC super middleweight titles. Yeah, it was back during the Super Series times. And Froch never got over that. He never thought that he would lose to a fighter like Andre Ward, and found himself never ever being able to live it down. But the thing about Andre Ward is he was always someone going into numerous matches as an underdog, as someone that was never really looked at for as good as he truly was. Ward was able to make adjustments and adapt to the fighters that he faced in the ring. And he did this even when moving up to light heavyweight. When he moved up to light heavyweight, he took on the likes of Sergey Kovalev, a man at the time who was noted as the Crusher. Many people didn't respect Ward doing what he was doing at the time. And so, as he finished his career, Ward wrapped things up with a record of 32-0 with 16 KOs. A first ballot Hall of Famer. Andre Ward is someone that really has left his impression on the sport, but apparently not on Carl Froch. And this is where things get a little interesting as far as Froch is concerned. Froch, according to an article with Boxing Scene written on the 28th of January, it says the headline was, Andre Ward wouldn't have a effing chance with Joshua. I'd enjoy AJ knocking him out. The article goes on. Link will be in the description box. Former super middleweight champion Carl Froch erupted over some recent statements made about his career rival Andre Ward. During an interview, Ward explained that he felt that Joe Calzaghe would have been a tougher opponent than former two-time champion Anthony Joshua. Ooh, I could see how Froch found issue with that. The big one shot would have been my concern with Anthony Joshua. He doesn't have the style. He's not like a big man like George Foreman. George knows how to tie you up, walk you back, and wear you down. Joshua's trying to box and be cute as well. I could look out for the right hand a lot easier when you fight like that. So Joe Calzaghe would have been a tougher fight, a different style, and a different mentality, Ward told Boxing News. Ward, a former two-division champion, retired from the sport in 2017 after retaining his unified crown at light heavyweight. Before the retirement decision was ultimately made, there were rumors that Ward was willing to entertain the scenario of moving up to heavyweight to challenge then world champion Joshua. Ward would confirm those rumors the following year. Froch believes the much bigger Joshua would have wiped out Ward, although he does believe Ward would have beaten Calzaghe had they met in the ring. I think Andre Ward's comments on Anthony Joshua and Joe Calzaghe are effing ridiculous because Anthony Joshua is far too big for him. It would be a mismatch because of the size difference. I don't get where he's coming from. AJ is 6'6", 18 stone. Andre Ward wouldn't have an effing chance, Froch said to Lord Ping. Boxing is a weight-governed sport. Ward is talking nonsense. I think he gives Calzaghe a really tough fight, though. That's a tough night for Calzaghe, a great fight. But he's talking BS about Anthony Joshua. AJ is too big and too strong for Andre Ward. I'd actually enjoy watching AJ knock out Andre Ward. I'd pay to see it. But Ward does beat Calzaghe. He doesn't really have any chinks in his armor. Calzaghe deserved to lose against Robin Reed. Reed should have got the nod. He also struggled against an old Hopkins and an old Roy Jones. So you've got to pick Ward over Calzaghe. Now, my thoughts on this are simply the fact that Ward had entertained challenging himself even further, being a two-division champion, and thinking about going up for the real brass, which was the heavyweight title. And Anthony Joshua, who was the champion at that time, was someone that the UK fighters and writers really loved. They were in love with AJ. But people forget he lost to a little fat guy named Andy Ruiz Jr. Andy Ruiz Jr. is about the same height as Andre Ward. And Ward, who has campaigned in the sport and shown his abilities, he's 6 foot with a 70-inch reach. And Andy Ruiz is about the same height, but a few pounds heavier. SOG, as Ward was known, was the type of fighter who was workmanlike. He would assess and analyze his opponents and use their strengths against them and break them down with whatever their weaknesses were. He was calculating in there, never in a hurry, but always able to capitalize. And let's not forget, by the time that AJ lost eventually to Andy Ruiz Jr., it was due to mistakes. AJ had gotten full of himself, and he hadn't progressed very much since acquiring the titles. And I say acquiring because those fights weren't serious enough challenges where you could see his vulnerabilities and he be threatened to lose as a result of them. Klitschko was an older, worn fighter who had been out of the ring for a few years, and Prince Charles Martin was not an experienced fighter, which is why the AJ camp jumped at the opportunity to face him. With all of that being said, Froch thinks that Calzaghe would have lost to Ward, and it would have been an easier fight for Ward. But I might look at it a different way. AJ could have been the easier fight for Ward than Calzaghe. AJ has difficulty against shorter guys, smaller guys. And Ward was the best in the sport at the time. Arguably, number 2 pound for pound, just behind Terrence Bud Crawford, if not tied for number 1. And it's easy to make the wrong assessments about fighters when you have a grudge against them, like Carl Froch may hold. Yet and still, a fight against Calzaghe would have been an interesting peak. I would have loved to see a fight like that too. But guess who didn't make the fight? Joe Calzaghe. Joe Calzaghe found his way throughout the sport of boxing in a convenient manner. He fought in his home country until the other guys got very long in the tooth. However, Ward, who had been to the dentist, was ready, and he was still available, but Calzaghe didn't look his way. How unfortunate, because that was a super fight that we missed out on. But here's to Andre Ward, who was able to do what a lot of people never saw him doing. And now he's in the Hall of Fame as a result of it. But what are your thoughts? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what your thoughts are about Carl Froch's sentiments regarding Andre Ward. Do you agree with him? Or do you feel that he's just blowing steam because he's a little bit angry still that Ward took his dinner? What do you think? Let's talk about it and discuss further. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.